You know, it's been fun. Been fun having Natalie as my daughter. Really fun. Little Miss Perfectionist. Everything had to be perfect as she was growing up. Just a great daughter. Graduates from SC, gets her master's degree. Messed up, met Carlos. Now, what a great couple. They're just really neat. You know, some of the fun times we had together was one time we're in Indian Princesses taking a canoe ride down the Colorado River. Natalie had to stand up. Over went the canoe. So what do you think happened? Natalie jumps into a motorboat and goes away. Myself and the other guy had to paddle, turn the canoe up over, and keep going, paddling, while she's in a nice, warm boat. It was terrible. But it's good to see her, how happy she is now. Look at the two of them. That's just, you can't find a happier couple. It's just really neat. And then the other really funny thing is one time, Natalie thought she'd get even with me. So she put a little rubber spider in my bed. Then Natalie and Ashley shared a bedroom. Ashley was on the bottom bunk, Natalie was on the top bunk. So I put a couple of rubber cockroaches in her bed. She climbed into bed, leaped up, hit the ceiling, and bounced around. Probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Anyway, I want to toast to just a great couple, really a great couple. I love them both so very much, and I'm so proud of both of them. Here's to Natalie and Carlos.
All right, keep that round of applause going as I introduce to you Carlos' father. Please help me welcome Jose Zepeda, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you to everyone. I know. Maybe one of the things you guys gotta miss is the parties in my house. Over. No more. Well, thank you everyone to come. I really appreciate everyone is here. Family, friends. The friends come from long part of the country. The ones come from Mexico. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Natalie, what can I say by you? We fall in love the first day we see you. Thank you to join the family. And especially about a month ago, where she just sent me a text and say, I'm Natalie Zepeda. Sorry, Tom. And you're really welcome in the family. Thank everyone. Not much I can say by Carlos. He's still my baby. We miss him a lot when he moved out of the house. Only happened a few days ago, okay? Now we used to leave the lights on until he come in the weekend. The first weekend, I leave the lights on. Leah say, Carlos is not coming. Of course, he's not coming, but he is in a good hands. Thank you. Carlos, we love you. Thank you, Natalie.
Hello. I've been really nervous about this because Natalie's my big sister and I always copy her. So I don't have anything to copy this time. But anyways, I'll start out with how amazing Natalie is. Everybody that's here knows how wonderfully and sweet she is and perfect, amazing, just wouldn't hurt a soul. She's wonderful. And I guess I'm here to talk about the other side that not everybody always sees. I actually wasn't going to go to that side, but But I was going to talk about the other side, the sweet side of Natalie, that not everybody always gets to see, and that's the little things she's always doing behind the scenes to take care of everybody, the gifts. You know, she's always listening to see what kind of gift you would want and just what would make you happy. And a perfect example is one time I was in college, and she called me up and she said, Ashley, you have all of these bills from the hospital. I don't know what they are. And I said, oh my gosh, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And she said, don't worry, I already called. I've paid for everything. I don't want you to worry about it. I want you to focus on school because you're in college and that's first priority. So don't even worry about it. I just wanted you to know that it's been taken care of. Which is just, you know, what big sister does that? Not to mention she was in college as well, but I was the younger sister and she was just taking care of me. And we've grown a lot. You know, we started out in bunk beds and, you know, Natalie did not want anything to do with me, had to get her own room. And it came to the point where, you know, we've grown up and we love each other so much to a whole nother level. I mean, when everybody asked me how the bachelorette party was, even Grammy Poppy asked me how it was, and I said, it was great. We got to share a bed. We shared a suitcase together, and we got to go on the plane together. And it was just, I was so excited, you know, just to spend time with my sister because she's just an amazing human being. And I love you so much. And I need to look at my next point because I'm a little bit nervous. So my next point was that I guess, that's what it was, is that how amazing our friendship was. I was telling everybody that not really anybody can beat our friendship. There's friends, and then there's sisters, and then there's us. We're just, you know, when people meet us, they say we look nothing alike, but our mannerisms are exactly the same. We talk the same. We laugh the same. So, but then she met Carlos, and their friendship is a whole nother friendship, something that's surpassed us greatly, our friendship. And it's kind of amazing to watch. I'd come home and to hear her on the phone and the laugh that would come out of you. You know, it's that deep laugh that not everybody can get out of Natalie, but it was always with Carlos. She'd be on the phone with Carlos, and, you know, their friendship is just amazing. And I feel so lucky to have you in our life, and I'm so thankful. Not only that, Carlos, you have such great values. Your family values are amazing. You've really rubbed off on Natalie in that sense that because of you, she's made us so much closer as a family. She's really got together me and Brian and really made us whole, and that's because of you, and I'm so thankful for that, you know, every day. And I love you so much, Carlos. And the Zepeda family, not to mention, you guys are amazing. You have taken us in as a family from day one. I was telling someone the other day that the first, you know, within the first few years of you guys dating, we went over there for Christmas. They took us in as a family, and they're doing gifts, and Fernanda handed me a gift. And I said, what, a gift? And she said, of course, you know, and she got, you know, the most thoughtful, this makeup gift, and that's them. They're just so wonderful and so thoughtful, and I'm just so happy that we're merging our two families together because it's really wonderful. So on behalf of my mom, my dad, and my brother, I can say that, and the Zepedas, that we're just so happy for this union, and I love you both. I'm so thankful, and I'm ready for some nieces and nephews.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Nick Stanovich, and I am one of the two best men. Thank you for telling me to speak up. I appreciate it, all of you guys. I know. I've known Carlos now for about 25 years. No, I'm not. And we met playing soccer. My dad was the coach. The season sucked because we didn't win a single game. Maybe one. We did win one game. I know, you're right. But we did build a friendship and a bond. Who was that? Thank you, Fernanda. By the way, I appreciate all the planning you did for this, and I know how much it's not your wedding, but I know it is your wedding. Seriously. One of Carlos's favorite things in life to do is to ask the question why. Why? Nick, why won't you come over and watch TV with me? Dad, why is Mexico playing so horrible right now? Okay, minus today. I'm sorry, Mr. Zepeda. I didn't mean no disrespect. But I know he asks questions because he cares deeply about everybody in this room, especially me. These two treat me like their son. It is. But Carlos, Natalie, speaking of Natalie, I know you went to USC. Carlos and I are UCLA fans. No matter what, we will always be rooting for the blue and the gold. UCLA, fight, fight, fight. Da. So therefore, I will always have to root against SC. Exactly, boo, SC. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate our friendship. We've had so many memories together. I know we're gonna have plenty of more. I love you both very, very much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys, and I just want to say, have a very happy life together. You guys will. I love you. Salud.
Ladies and gentlemen, put those glasses down, your hands together for Nick. That was fantastic. Thank you, sir. All right.
First off, want to thank everyone for joining us here tonight. Thank you to Natalie and Carlos's parents for making this happen. Fernanda, amazing job tonight. Beautiful wedding. Give her a round of applause. Special thank you to Linda and Jose. Something you don't know is a while back, my parents decided to move down to Argentina for a few years, and every week they'd call me up. Come, family dinners, let's hang out. They knew I'd miss that. Jose, you sat me and Carlos down multiple times, taught us about life, the rights, the wrongs, the good, the bad, whatever. But bottom line, your advice made us the men we are today, and we'll never forget that. Thank you. But before we start the roast of Carlos here, no, roast. Everyone be careful tonight. If you're having a little too much fun, one too many glasses of wine, there are buses taking you back to the hotel, rooms available. Or if you need transportation, whatnot, let me or Nick know, we'll accommodate. So, seriously. So, speech, 250 people. You start freaking out. But then you psych yourself out and you think, whoa, I get to talk about my best friend. How great of a guy he is, make fun of him, brag about him, and how happy you are for him and his wife. But as for Carlos, let's get real. You really have become a man. I've seen you grow up. You're true, you're caring, you're honest. And when the pressure's on, you come through in the clutch. But let's go back 20 years when I first met you. That's the finished product. So when you meet somebody, most of the time, you talk about how you don't like somebody. Sometimes these guys, you fight someone and you end up being best friends. But you go to this bachelor party and you sit down at this fancy dinner and everyone's telling stories about how they met Carlos. And I bet out of the 20 guys that went, 18 of them talked about how they wanted to knock him out. But again, 20 guys were there, so we know how the story ends. Good guy. I did beat Carlos up, though, when I met him. Come home, summer afternoon, done with soccer, throw my bag down into the coat closet, and my sister's there with a couple of her friends hanging out, watching TV. They're swimming in the pool, whatnot, and there's this little Chihuahua Tasmanian devil thing running around the kitchen, complaining how there's no orange flavored Gatorade. Why do you only have fruit punch? Sure enough, I walk over. I'm the big brother. And no matter how little the guy was, boys were not allowed at the house. So I grab him, give him a couple jabs, throw him out. As I'm kicking him out of the house, he bounces off the wall, hits his head on the door, lands in the closet. Surprisingly, he never came out. But I kick him right out of the house. Little did I know what our friendship would become, how close we would be, and the brother he would be. At first, we didn't hang out all that much, obviously, after that, that whole situation. But every once in a while in high school, we'd run into each other at parties, hang out, this, that, the other thing. And it wasn't until, I think, my first summer in college, I'm sitting at a backyard party, I'm refilling my red cup. Y'all know how that goes. And I hear this kid at the other end of the party just talking smack, saying the funniest things, and I go, oh, that's Carlos. I look over, and it's like the biggest, meanest 6'5" monster I've ever seen, and Carlos is going off. I couldn't help but laugh. And I'm going, uh-oh, we got to save this kid. So I grab a couple of my closest buddies, walk over, calm it down, grab him, get him the heck out of there before he gets thrown up and over the hill, and go back to Chris Matson's house, which is the usual. Have a few beers, reminisce, talk, laugh, and that's when we really started becoming friends. And that summer, one adventure after another, one funny thing after another, was all full of laughs. Then, of course, we were all going back to college. You got your friends going to ASU, some Cal State Fullerton, whatever, and Carlos goes, yeah, I got to go back to San Francisco. I go, oh, you're going to San Francisco? Okay, here we go again. Oh, no, wait, that's right. He got a scholarship to play soccer. I'm like, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But that was pretty much what happened over the next few years. He'd come back from college, whether it was a break, summer break, winter break, whatever it was, he'd call me up week before and be like, I'm coming down, bro. Get it ready. It had to be like a welcome party every single time he'd come. Let's go. Let's do this. But then, in 05, 06, a few things started changing. And I'm not talking about him finally getting rid of that Porsche Boxer or whatever he was driving, which was an embarrassment. It was a stick shift. It was hairy. Or the fact that he introduced us to the flat iron. And I'm like, what's up with that, bro? He's like, no. Better hair equals hotter girls. I go, okay, have you tried the gym? So you figure out that, as your best friends, you introduce you to one another, and at the end of the day, look what happened. You scored, dude. It worked out. Around that time, he comes up to me one day, we're getting ready to go out. He's like, I went out on a date a few days ago. I'm like, oh yeah? Oh, okay, whatever. She's the coolest, the prettiest girl I've ever met. Smart, blah, 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 blah. And he goes on and on for like an hour. I'm going, okay, let's get ready to go out, whatever. And if you know Carlos, you're thinking, how much of that is actually true and how much is being exaggerated? But the one thing he did say was that she was a USC grad, and go Trojans, because I was like, all right, at least you got that right. Shortly thereafter, I get to meet Natalie. I'm like, whoa, he wasn't messing around, dude. I was like, whoa, okay, got it. Pulled him aside as the first chance I got, and I was like, Carlos, don't mess this one up. You're not going to get this opportunity again. Seriously, don't screw it up. They dated for a while, but, not every relationship is perfect. And as a best friend, you hear the good, the bad, the ugly. And he actually, you know what? He complained about you a little bit. There was one thing he always talked to me, sat me down, and was like, hey, here's what's going on, and over and over and over. And I quote, I don't get to spend enough time with her. So I set him aside and I go, Carlos, really? She's getting her master's. She's got a job, and you work too? I'm like, if the biggest problem you have in your relationship is that you don't get to spend enough time with her, well, embrace that and be thankful, dude, and like move on from it. The nice part is that, you know, there's a plus to that. We got to hang out. You know, a lot of people get their boyfriends, girlfriend disappear for a while, but he didn't. We got to still hang out, do our little whatever we're doing. We spend a lot of time, endless nights in the lab trying to see how we would take over the world. You know what I'm talking about. But the stories went on. Those are the things. We went out and had fun. And when I think of Carlos and the times we had, it was always those funny stories, whether it was us leaving Newport in a cab, getting kicked out because a couple of our friends were getting a little bit too rowdy. Yeah. And instead of waiting for the next cab, Carlos and I decided to wave down a bus. Hey, come on. Hop on the public transportation and go for a ride. I don't know, Garden Grove, Santa Ana, wherever the heck we ended up. After like an hour and a half, we figured the only thing that stopped us was the taqueria shop that was open. Stopped, had a couple dozen tacos, watched Sábado Gigante. The crew let us hang out there for a little bit too long, or longer than we should have, and we're like, okay, well, public transportation's done, and no cabs are picking us up after what happened earlier. So thankfully, Chris Mattson, another friend, was there to pick us up. Or the time, and this was even better, the time we were at my brother-in-law's bachelor party in Scottsdale, and Carlos thinks it's a grand idea to steal a bus limo, a little golf cart sort of thing that's like taking people around from club to club. And I'm looking at him going, oh, really? What are you going to do, dude? How are you going to pull this off? Well, the driver comes out, you know, goes to the restroom. The bouncer's like flirting with some girl. He looks at me and he goes, yeah, this is when we go. And I'm like, okay, well, if one of us goes, the other goes too. Jumped in. There was people in the back of that cart. They went for the ride of their life in Scottsdale. The only thing that had us stop that time was the blue lights coming up behind us. Like, dude, we got to stop. Get the heck out of here now. At the end of the day, I can go on with stories like that forever. But those are the stories, the situations that led us to believe that we were there for one another, the bond that kept going. In the traditions that we hold. For example, you know, when we're going to Vegas Sunday mornings, we got to have a Bloody Mary before we leave. But at the end of the day, Carlos, you're the best friend anyone could ever have. It's not that you're just there to listen, but what sets you apart, because anyone can be cornered for that, but later on you follow up. You call everyone to find out how they're doing after. And that's something not many people do. Carlos, it's been an amazing 20 years of friendship, brotherhood, and memories, and I can't wait for the next to come. I'm privileged and honored to be a part of your wedding and a best man. And this part I really got to read, but Natalie, you were the missing piece. You completed Carlos. What I'm trying to say is that a lot of us, no matter how young, how old, how long we've been married, or how short a time we've been dating, everyone has their ups and downs, but at the end of the day, what we can all take from you two is that you make each other better. You're both destined to be good people, and a lot of that has to do with your family. But if we look back at the end of the day, before you guys met until today, you both have gone from good to great. And that's what I admire the most, and hope you both see that in one another. And I'll leave you with a little bit of advice that some wise man told me once. There's 3 key components to a relationship. Hold on, this part's good. 3 key components to a relationship. Don't ever forget these 3 words: love, trust, and respect. Don't forget that. They're one and the same. They're one and the same, and if one fades, the other 2 disappear too. I love you guys, honestly, with all my heart. Watch out for each other, take care of each other, and I wish you all the best. Now get the tequila going.